Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Friday workshop. I hope you guys were all pleasantly surprised this morning as you fired up your NinjaTrader and opened up BloodHound, and bingo, you guys saw that the update's finally been pushed out. So, guess what we're going to talk about today? So today we're going to go through the process of updating NinjaTrader. So I haven't opened up my NinjaTrader yet this morning, as you probably have noticed. Usually I have the S&P market open and visible, but I just want to save BloodHound so it's fresh and we can walk through the whole process the same way that you guys see it. So. All right, well, with that, let me get NinjaTrader started here. So, I guess while NinjaTrader is firing up, if you guys, do have any issues, if you experience any issues with the update, please just send us an email in here, support@sharkindicators.com, and we'll send you some instructions back on how to fix that issue. I have noticed that we've made available the earlier beta version to some customers to fix some issues, and I've noticed several of them had a compile error issue, which I have not been able to recreate, but it's a simple thing to fix. It's real simple. So if you do have any trouble, just send us an email and we'll send you the instructions on how to solve that. It's pretty simple. So before I get started, just a reminder, there is a discussion forum on Big Mics. So this discussion forum is it's geared towards automated trading topics. So the discussion section on Big Mics is not for BloodHound support. It's only really for discussing automated trading systems. Also to find the quickest and easiest way to find training videos is to jump on YouTube and just use the search term BloodHound Workshop, and followed by the keywords that you're kind of looking for. So, all right, I can see that we have the charts open. Let's see. Let me connect to the data feed. We'll get these charts updated here. All right. So as soon as I open BloodHound, I should get a notification. Great. So hopefully all you guys got this notification this morning. So we're up to version 1.210, and there, just speculation here, there probably will be one more update, possibly two more updates before we get to actually BloodHound version 2. So, all right, so when this window pops up, we're just going to click the yes button here, and that's going to open up your web browser, and that's going to take you to the news article here, covering all the new updates for this release, right? So you can scroll through here, read all the updates and so forth. But I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here, and we can see that there's the download button. So a couple things to be mindful of, right? So there have been several parameter changes to BloodHound and Raven, so therefore older versions will not be compatible with files made by this version. All right. So if you have any concerns, back up all your BloodHound files. All right. And also a couple of other things to note. Since we've updated Raven, it's best to make sure that you remove all of your Raven strategies from Ninja's control panel. Right, so we go to the Control Center and click on the Strategies tab and just make sure that there's no strategies loaded. If there are, you can just right click on it and you'll be able to remove the strategy. So, alright. And yeah, you know, here's a couple of other good things to do as well. Jeremy wasn't able to sneak this into the installer, but there's a couple of files. There's some files that should be checked and deleted before you run the update. So I'll show you how to do that. So you can see I'm inside my NinjaTrader 7 folder, right? You'll see that there's a templates folder. So if we go in here, there's all kinds of good stuff in here. So you can see all your BloodHound files are stored in this BloodHound template. All your chart templates are saved in the chart folder. What we want to look for is some indicator settings. So we want to go into the indicator folder and scroll down to the S's, and I don't have one, but if you see a file that's named SI BloodHound, you want to delete it. Alright? Only if you see one that says SI BloodHound, and I don't have one in my list here. So I'm okay. Most of you probably will see one in here. And the next thing we want to do is look inside the strategy folder. Alright, so I'm now inside, oops. Alright, well let me go through that again. So from NinjaTrader 7, go into templates, and now next we want to check the strategy folder. And if you see an SI Raven file in here, you'll want to delete that. So it just kind of prevents some issues that NinjaTrader has. So NinjaTrader doesn't know how to handle updates to indicators or strategies, and it doesn't know how to update these files, so you just have to delete them. And if you don't, NinjaTrader will basically just kind of balk at you. Alright, so once we have once we have these two files deleted, then we're good to go. So we'll download this. And let's see, I'm using Chrome, and so my Chrome didn't give me the option to save this anywhere, but I know most people like to save this download file. So in Chrome, what I can do is I can show in folder. So I just clicked on this down triangle here. I can go to show in folder, and there's the new updated file. Right, so we can see it's version 1.210 and 5387, and so you can just take this file and store it wherever you like to store all your indicator files. Right. All right. So the next step is we should shut down NinjaTrader. You know, the installer will close NinjaTrader for you, but you know, it's always best to close the application itself. So let's shut down NinjaTrader. All right, we'll save everything, and all right. So now we're good to run the update here. All right, I have to click the agree button. Click next. One thing to check is these developer extensions. You know, if you don't know what this is, then that means you don't want it checked. All right, so if you know what this is, then you can go ahead and check it. But for the most part, 99% of the people do not want this checked. So just make sure that is unchecked. All right, we'll just click next, and install. Alright, once the installer is finished, it will always take you back to the training section on our website, right? So this essentially is just all the training material that you can kind of go through systematically here. Alright, so there's some introductory tutorial videos. You know, by clicking on this button, it'll take you to another web page. And then when you come back here, you can click on this button. It'll take you to another section and more training videos. All right. However, we'll just close this. All right. We'll see back here. We can now click on the Finish button. Let's close that. All right. So I'm going to fire up NinjaTrader. Okay, so now once I open up BloodHound, I go to Help and About. There we go. I can see I'm on version 1.210, so we're good to go. All right. Okay, let's see. I'm going to start. So what I'm going to do is, let me bring up the web browser here. So I'll just kind of go through each item that's listed on the website here. So we'll cover BloodHound first, and then move on and cover Raven. Let's see. One of the items, though, is the licensing manager interface. I'm actually going to cover that first. So this is we've improved it now, made it a little easier. So if you click on Help, all right, we go into Manage License. And you'll see the interface is going to pop up, and it's going to check the status of your license for each product here, right? So we can see BloodHound is good to go. It's licensed, a green check box there, and the Pro Ranco is all licensed, green check box. And I can see here my SI backtest Ranco bars, right? Little warning triangle. That just means I'm not licensed. So let's go in here, and as a freebie for all you guys, I have basically for anybody that doesn't have the backtest Ranco, this license ID and password is a temporary license that will expire at the end of this month. So it's good for the duration of this month, and so we'll practice using the license manager and put in this temporary license ID. So I will, so if you guys want to follow along here, I will paste this into the chat box. Alright, so there you guys go. You should see that in the chat box. So let me slide this off to the side. So since so to license something, I'm going to click on my backtest Rancos, right? And you'll see you guys are probably all remember seeing this licensing window. So I'm just going to plug in that temporary license and the password. And this installation name, this is optional, but it's kind of helpful for us if you ever have any licensing issues. We can manually deactivate a license on a computer, and why this is handy is because you can provide a name for this particular activation here. So I'm just going to say, this is put my initials in there, and this is my VMware for the workshops. So let's get the K in there. All right, for the workshops. So essentially this is just a little nickname for me to understand, and if you ever have any licensing issues, you know, like typically you could put in here like, you know, my main desktop or my main trading computer, and if you have a backup computer, you know, or an office computer, you could say, you know, my backup computer, or you could put in there my office computer, and that way, if you have any licensing issues, you can say, look, I had a licensing issue on my office computer, and then we can go find this name very quickly and easily, and we can deactivate it and help you out with getting the licensing activated again for you. So, all right. So once we kind of got these things filled out, just hit next, and we're good to go. So this should just take a second here. Who knows, if we're all doing this at once, it might take a little longer. Let's see, we got 33 people in here today. Wow, that's great. I'm seeing this thing, seeing the number of attendees in here grow and grow more and more. That's pretty good. And all right, there we go. It's completed. So now, if I go back into Manage License, there we go. I got a green checkbox. So, and another handy thing about having all of your licenses available here is, you know, now if you buy a new computer, right, and so you need to move your license over to your new computer, what you can do is you can, you know, go into each of these and you can deactivate the license for this particular workshop. Right, you can go in there and deactivate it, click next, you know, and it'll deactivate the license. And then after deactivating it, you know, this would be a triangle warning there. So I would have deactivated BloodHound on this computer, and then I could put the license on the new computer. And so you can go into each of these products here that you may have, and you can just deactivate them all, and that allows you to transfer them over to another computer. So, all right, so that kind of covers the licensing manager. Let's see what is next on the list. All right, email. Yes. All right, so BloodHound now has email capability. All right, so to get to the email capability, what we have to do, that's one of the parameters in the indicator list. All right, so we'll bring up our indicator list and select BloodHound here. And we'll see right here, there's a send email feature now. So we can set this to true, and there's lots of options here that need to be set up. Right, so the email body, you can go in here and you can edit the email body. So you know, we don't have all of these kind of, you can see like there's variables here inside of brackets, right? So those are essentially those are variables, so you can kind of custom tailor the email with specific information. So all this, all these variables information here will be made available up on the website, right? So I just need to get Jeremy to kind of list them all out there. But you know, so you can kind of customize the text that will be in the email. All right, and the email from, of course, this needs to be your email address, and the subject, you know, so you can customize your own subject if you want, and then of course, you know, who are you sending the email to? Which email address do you want to receive the email in? Let's see. There are. Let's see. There's also some other settings that need to be done for NinjaTrader. So almost all email providers now have sophisticated spam filters, right? And so NinjaTrader has created a documentation so that you can set this email system up correctly to help avoid your email spam filters here. So to get to that, I'm going to have to close out of the indicator list and go to Tools and go into Options. And you'll see here in Miscellaneous, right, there is a Mail Setup section here. So this information needs to be set up. And on our documentation page, let's see, actually, let's see. Hold on a moment. Let me see if I can find this link here quickly. So on NinjaTrader's forum, they have a posting on how to set up various email accounts. So I'm sorry I didn't have this ready, but I think I could find the link here quickly. Maybe not. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Cool. All right. So we'll have a link to this on our documentation page. And in the meantime, I'll paste this link in the chat box there for you guys. But you can see NinjaTrader has, let's see, where is this? So it's in the support forum, application technical support, installation and licensing section, and then the email setups, right? And so you can see email or NinjaTrader's provided, various settings here for different email providers: AOL, Comcast, Gmail, big one, Hotmail's a big one, Yahoo's a big one, right? So you kind of want to follow these instructions here, right, to set up that that miscellaneous tab in the options here, which is where did that go? Yeah, here we go. It's right, which is this option window on the miscellaneous tab. So. All right, let's see. Let me pause for a moment. I see there's like a lot of questions or comments coming in here. So before I move on to the next item, let me see if there's any questions going on here. All right, so let's see. Heinz got a quick question here. So Heinz, yes, these workshops are recorded, and no, you do not have to delete the old installation. So a newer version of BloodHound will always install over an older version. But if for some reason you want to go back to an older version of BloodHound, then you will have to uninstall BloodHound first. So for the new update, you guys will not have to uninstall. So you can just run the installer right over on top of the old version of BloodHound. All right, so Peter's asking a good question here. Peter's asking, how can I deactivate my license after he already got rid of his computer? All right, so Peter, you'll have to communicate with us here at support. You'll have to send us an email to support, and we will have to manually deactivate your license on the server. And that's why. So whenever that happens, you know, it's pretty common where people don't realize that it's helpful that they can manage all the licensing themselves just by, they can transfer the license themselves by deactivating it. Right, so let me kind of cover this again. So when you do activate a license, you know, if you provide a name here, then what you can do is you can, you know, if you forget to deactivate your computer before you scrap it, then if you just say, you know, hey, this, you know, this, just give us this name here, you know, so you can say, hey, my main computer, I got rid of it. Can you please deactivate that license? And then that frees up another activation for you to put on your new computer. So that's why it's kind of helpful to have this here. Otherwise, let's see. Otherwise, Peter, what you can do is, you know, we have phone support for technical issues like this. So you can call us on the phone, and we can figure out, you know, which license to deactivate, and we'll get you, you know, we'll get you squared away that way. Okay, so let's see. Let's move on to the next item here. The next item. All right, so now BloodHound now has separate long and short signal audio alerts. All right, so now it has separate audio alerts for the long and short signals. So once again, those are available in the indicator list. So make sure we've got BloodHound selected. And so now you'll see play audio alerts. So if we set this to true, you know, whereas before there was just one, you know, you could select just one file, but now we've broken that out into two separate files so you can get a long signal versus a short signal audio alert. Pretty simple. So to set up the sound file that you want to play, just click the button and you can go and select any compatible WAV file that NinjaTrader is capable of playing. So you know, if you come across an audio file that doesn't play, then that just means it's not compatible with NinjaTrader. So essentially NinjaTrader support could help you, you know, figure out which audio formats are compatible with NinjaTrader. So let's see, I'll just click alert 3 and bingo, you can see this one's filled and this one's blank. So there would be no audio sound for short signals. So, and alright, so I'm going to turn that off and see what is next here. Alright, yeah, so we have some new plots now, or a new plot for the market analyzer, and we have some other plots as well. And let's see. Alright, so here's kind of a little quirk about NinjaTrader. For some reason, NinjaTrader is holding on to all of these old plots. So all of these long plots here have now been removed because they haven't been used in a while, and we're going to bring them back with BloodHound version 2. But in the meantime, you can see that there are some new plots in here. So now there is a, let's see, where'd it go? Oh, yeah, for some reason, NinjaTrader, gave them a wrong name. Okay, so let's walk through the process of, you know, correcting all these plot names here. Since NinjaTrader is holding on to them, I think it's holding on to them in the workspace. Probably when you close NinjaTrader and you save your workspace, that's probably what's holding on to those old plot names. So what we're going to do is just remove BloodHound from the chart, and we're going to add BloodHound back to the chart. And once we do that, there, now we can see my plots list here is now corrected. Alright, so we still have the long confidence and short confidence, which those are the two plots that you see on the chart. Right? So now we have a market analyzer plot, and as the name implies, this plot was created specifically for the market analyzer. And I'll give you an example here in just a moment. We have a net confidence plot. So what that does is that takes the net difference between the long confidence and the short confidence plots and takes the net difference. And then we also have a net signal. So this will essentially fire off as a 0 or 1 based on whether we have a long signal or a short signal. Alright, so I guess the subtle difference between the net signal and the long confidence and short confidence, right, is that the long confidence and short confidence, those are have a fuzzy logic output, right? The output can vary from 0 to 1, whereas the net signal is either on or off, so it's either 0 or 1. So there's no fuzzy logic in this net signal. That's just either on or off. So the plot's going to be 1 or 0. One thing you'll note is these are set to transparent when you first add BloodHound, but if I just click OK, then the colors are set. Alright, so I think for some reason that's BloodHound or NinjaTrader's holding on to some old plot color for some reason. Let's see. Oops. Let me open up the indicator window again. And so as soon as I clicked OK, now you can see that the colors have been set correctly here. And of course the other ones have been turned off here. So, alright, let's kind of discuss the market analyzer one. These other two here are really more for programmers, individual guys who are writing their own strategy code or indicator code, and hooking into BloodHound. That's really what these other two plots are for. So, let's cover the market analyzer. Let's see. Let's connect to my data feed, and let me open up a market analyzer. There we go. Let's open up this market analyzer window, and let's see. I do believe I have some saved templates already here. Oh. Alright, so good. We have the BloodHound Classic stock moving average, so let's load that in here. And we need to populate some instruments in here. Alright, and we have some old instruments in here. Let's get rid of some of these. Alright, this is going to take NinjaTrader a moment to populate all the data into these instruments here. And looks like we still don't have the CL data. That should come in here shortly. And I'll get rid of that one. Alright. And yeah, so we probably won't get any signals, but you'll notice here that with the previous version, right, we had a BloodHound long column for long signals, and we had a BloodHound short column for short signals, right? So if I go into the columns list and you take a look here, now you'll see so here we go. So this item here, the one on the item here on top, right? This is looking for BloodHound's long signals. And if we look down here, that's because we're using the confidence long plot, right? And then this second column here, which is looking at BloodHound's short signals, right? It's also, well, that's right. The plot name's changed, so it was looking at the confidence short plots. So with this new market analyzer plot, what I can do now is I can remove one of these, and now I only need one column, right? So before, in the previous version, we had to have two columns, one for the long signals and one for the short signals. Now all we need is just one column. So I can actually rename this. Let's see, we'll just call it and so I'm going to essentially this just renamed the column here. So now down here, what I can do is I can choose the market analyzer plot. And this market analyzer plot will give me a short signal or a long signal in one plot. So I don't have to use two plots now, right? We have this one plot that gives me a long signal or a short signal. Essentially that's it. Let's see here, 50 bars. Let's see, I'll just change that to 100 bars. And let's see, oh, this is running on daily data. Okay, that's good. And oh, alright, so another thing I need to do is after I have my plot selected, then I need to go in here and change my cell conditions. So right now I have a condition that notifies me right when I get a buy signal. And so what I'll need to do now is I'll add another condition, and this is going to be a cell condition, so I'll set it to red. And let's see, the condition will need to be, let's see, is less than or equal to, and let's see, my text is going to be cell, and my value is going to be a negative value. So I want a negative, essentially I'm just going to go 0.8, which, right, 0.8 is my threshold value, is BloodHound's threshold value. You know, if you wanted to, I mean, you could just put in here, you know, 0.99, which a little more restrictive, but I'm just going to stick with my threshold value and just put 0.8 and click OK. And let's see, click OK. So now the market analyzer only needs one column instead of two columns. So what that does is that cuts the market analyzer's CPU usage in half, right? So it can save a lot of CPU usage now, if you're already using this market analyzer. So, and let's see, I should probably go in here and update my market analyzer template. Yeah, I'll just update that. There we go. And Yeah, unfortunately, no trade signals today on this. So, all right, let's see. How about I'm going to see if I can give you guys some visuals, some visual feedback on the chart, so you can actually see those plots in action here. So, yeah, I'll just load up this one here, and change the CL to a daily chart. And it looks like my chart is loading about 13 years worth of data. But in daily bars, that's actually not a lot of data. So we'll just give this a moment to populate here. Alright, let me see if there's any other comments that had come in. Alright, so Eldon is asking, will the previous version templates work with the new version? Yes, they will, absolutely, of course. Yes, so every time there's an update, you know, BloodHound has code in here that will convert the older versions into the newer version, you know, whatever is necessary. So yeah, so older versions, older BloodHound files are always compatible with newer versions. So, all right, cool. So all right, so we do have some signals on here. Great deal. So let's go in here and actually, I'll do this just so we can see a comparison here. So I'm going to add a second instance of BloodHound on here, and let me click OK just so I can get the plot colors situated. So we'll see if we can get this resolved here. Figure out why NinjaTrader's doing this. It's kind of odd. And the next step I'll do is I'll remove some data from the chart. So reduce that load time. Looks like for some reason NinjaTrader is reloading the data again. That's kind of odd. Alright, let's see. Let me take a look at some questions while we're waiting for Ninja to reload that data again. Alright, looks like Brent has a question here. Alright, so Brent. So Brent is an intentional trader customer. And so intentional trader, their trading technique is unique, you know, compared to most trading methodologies out there. And so for intentional trader customers, you need to make sure that for Raven and BloodHound, that calculate on bar close is set to false. So that's why that's happening, Brent. Is you didn't. I'm positive that Praveen and Tony teaches you guys that calculate on bar close has to be set to false, and so you missed that, missed doing that when you were setting up Raven there, Brent. So that's the solution to that. Let's see, Asif, I'm not quite understanding your question here. Asif, let's see, for the new update, do you have to upgrade first? Well, Asif, that's what the update is. The update, the upgrade, they're one and the same. The update is an upgrade. So So I hope that answers your question there. So when you update that will upgrade BloodHound to the new version. And all right, so good deal. We got the data loaded here, and hopefully Ninja doesn't reload our data again. So let's change this from 5,000 bars down to 1,000 bars. I think that should be good enough. All right, good deal. Okay, so now I have two bloodhounds on here. So this second bloodhound, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the long confidence off. Right, I'll set those to transparent. And I'll turn on the market analyzer plot. So we'll set this to something unique here. How about if I pick a blue color? Let's see. All right. This guy's pretty bright blue. And let's see, I'll set that to square. We'll make this thick. All right, so this ought to be pretty obvious here. Click OK. And all right, so let's see, the next step, let me load the same template in here. Load this template. All right, and when you load a new template into BloodHound, you'll see that you always have to press F5 to get NinjaTrader to update all the indicator data. So, all right. Oh, let's see here. Let's turn those back off again. And, oh shoot, sorry about that. They got forced back on. Well, I guess we'll take care of that in the next update. But hopefully you guys can see this blue line that's plotting on top. All right, so this, let me make this even thicker there. Set it to 5, and you can see the market analyzer plot on top here. Right, so that's what the market analyzer plot is doing. So you can see it's mimicking the short confidence and the long confidence in one plot, right? So some of you techie guys might be asking, well, what happens if you get a short output and a long output at the same bar? Well, this market analyzer plot is going to choose the short or long output that's the greatest, that's the highest value. So let's see, that's how about yeah, here I'll make a quick little modification to this system here. So let me copy this and actually, all Alright, so I'm going to make a couple of new slope solvers here. And let's see, what I already have on my chart an EMA 55 and then let's see, an SMA 10. So what I'll do is I'll just check the slope of these solvers. Right, so there's an SMA 10 slope, and I'll make an EMA 55 slope solver. Alright, just get this done real quick. Okay, so I'm going to put them both into an OR node. And yeah, so we can see some of these bars. Take a look at this. Right, like right, these two bars here, right? We can see I have a long output and a short output at the same time. And since they're both equal, let me slide this over here. Right, we can see the long output equals 1. The short output here, we can see the flag is saying it equals -1. And so when they're both equal, essentially you get no signal. So you can see the blue line is essentially it's on the 0. So if the long output and the short output are exactly equal, then the market analyzer will give you no signal because there's an exact conflict, right? So how do you know which direction to trade if your system is saying, hey, you need to go long and you need to go short at the same time, right? So that's kind of a conflict. So the market analyzer gives you a 0 output. However, if I'm going to adjust my, let's see, I'll adjust my slope requirements here. Put half a tick in there. Oh, why? What? Oh, come on. All right. There we go. And let me take a look at the output here. Let's see. Oh, we're on daily bars, so let's go from ticks to points since we're on daily bars. Because on daily charts, you know, really the instrument's moving in points, not in ticks. Okay, there we go. So now look, we can see that we have a kind of a variable output here. And let's see, where'd my arrow go? Alright, there's my arrow. So let's take a look at this bar. Alright, so if we look at the long output here on this bar, we can see its value is 0.166. The short side down here, right, the short side down here is -0.278. And we can see that the blue plot, which is the market analyzer plot, we can see that it went with the short output because the short output was a greater value than the long output. And so the market analyzer would tell you that, hey, there was a short. Well, this didn't actually qualify as a short trade, but the market analyzer would say that, hey, there's a stronger sell bias, on this particular bar here. So, all right. So that's let's see. Let's play with. Let's take a look at some of these other plots here. Alright, I'll turn the market analyzer off. Let's take a look at net confidence. And we'll set it to white. And I'm going to set it back to square. And we'll make this real nice and thick here. All right. So let's see. Once again, looking at at the same bar here, and let me I'll stretch this out. Stretch this out. So if we look at this net confidence, we can see it equals negative 112. So what it did is it took the difference. Right? It took the difference between the short confidence and the long confidence. And we can see that since the short confidence was a greater value, the net confidence was the difference between the two, and it was on the negative side. So that's the net confidence. And let's take a look at the net signal here. So I'll turn the net confidence off, and I'll turn the net signal on. We'll set it to white as well. Make it nice and thick. Set it to square. Alright, so we can see that the net signal, we only get an output from it when we actually get a BloodHound signal. Right, so we can see, for example, in here, there was no signal. Right, the output was not great enough to fire off a signal, and therefore the net signal is set to 0. So, so this kind of provides a nice, easy, clean, digital type signal output. So, all right, I think that kind of covers the plots. So let's see what's next on the list here. And okay, so we have an update to the support and resistance solver, and here's a nice convenient link. So if we click on that, that'll take us to the support resistance solver documentation page, and it took us right to this new value here, right? This input price is a new parameter. So if I scroll up just to show you guys, right, it opened up our support and resistance solver documentation page. So here's the new parameter. So now what this allows us to do is we can, in the previous version, the support resistance solver only compared the close price of the bar to your support and resistance lines. Now you can compare the open price or the high price or the low price to your support and resistance lines. So we'll open up BloodHound here. And just so you know, this classic stock signal comes with BloodHound, right? It's one of the example files that comes with BloodHound, so you guys all have this already, right? Let's see. So I'm just going to drop a support and resistance solver on here, just so we can take a look at the new setting here. All right. So here it is, input price. So you can see it defaults to the closing price. So typically we're comparing the closing price of the bar to the support and resistance lines. But now we could, if you want to compare the open price, or more importantly, if you want to see if the high price, got up and got close to resistance, or if you want to check the low price and see if the low price, came down and got close to support, right? So if you did want to do that, if you're wanting to check if the high price was coming up close to resistance versus the low price coming down to support, you would need to create two support and resistance solvers to do that, right? Because you can only select one price at a time. So, but now that option is there for you. So, all right, so that's a pretty simple addition. All right, and let's see. I think now we're going to move on to Raven. Let's go back over here. Yeah. All right, so now we're going to move on to Raven, some Raven things. First, let me pause a moment. I think some more questions came in here. All right, so Brent, I'll get to your question here in just a moment. No. All right, so Raven has a couple new features, a couple new settings here. All right, so we can see we have allow re-entry on same bar, show the chart trader, and auto trades override manual trades. All right, so let's actually take a look at that in Raven. All right, so if I go into my strategies window here and put Raven on there. All right, so here's the first new parameter. Allow entries only on the same bar. Or I'm sorry, allow re-entries on the same bar. Right, normally you're going to want this set to false. Now, something critical about this is that it only applies when calculate on bar close is set to false. Right? This only has an effect when calculate on bar close equals false. Right? And the reason why is that when calculate on bar close is set to false, what that does is that has your indicator or your strategy, so in this case Raven, it has Raven recalculating, you know, your entry signals or your exit signals on every incoming tick. So every time, you know, price changes, you know, while a bar is building, while a bar is in motion, what that does is Raven will be evaluating your trade signals on every incoming tick when this is set to false. So what can happen is that, you know, if your bar just, say your bar just opens and you get a trade signal, all right, so so Raven fires off a long trade and you have like a scalping system, right? So you just take a quick 5-tick profit, and right, so price goes your way, you get your 5-tick profit, but the bar hasn't closed yet, right? The bar is still in motion. Say like you're trading a 5-minute bar or something like that. So the bar is still building. You got your trade profit, but what would happen is, since this is set to false, Raven is always evaluating your trade logic, and as soon as your profit target is hit, Raven is flat. So if Raven is flat, Raven's going to go, oh, I'm flat, and there's still a trade signal, and it will fire off a second trade entry on the same bar, and that can only happen when this is set to false. So now with this new setting, you can make sure that Raven will only execute one trade per bar, right? And that only applies when this is false. So, okay, let's see. The next option here, show chart trader. All right, so let's see. If I normally this is going to be on. So let's see. Let me just I'll just turn this on. Put some values in here. Something like that. Click OK. And right, so this is the chart trader right here, this blue screen. So you'll notice that we made it a nice a nicer blue. I hope you guys appreciate that. I sure do. Right, so we have the chart trader turned on, and if I go back into my strategy here, I'll have to turn it off. And if I set show chart trader defaults and then turn my strategy back on, hit apply, and you can see now the chart trader is turned off, right? So you can just simply turn the chart trader off if you don't want to see it. So that's all that does. Pretty simple. All right, so let's turn the strategy back off. Hit apply. All right. Okay, so here's another nice addition here. Auto trades override manual trades. Let's see. Yeah, let's kind of set up let's set up an example here. All right. All right, so I'm just going to load up a simple system here that essentially is just going to take a trade every time price reverses, right? So I just have this simple, this is just a inflection solver, right? This is a inflection solver here, and it's set to the closing price. So whenever price reverses, it's going to take a trade. And all right, so let's see, I'm going to leave this on none, and let's see. Yeah, I'm thinking I can also show you this re-entry setting here. So I'm going to set it to true, and let's see. Well, actually, let me just show you one at a time. So I'll show you how this override feature works. So we'll leave it on true. Let me turn my chart trader back on. So the chart trader has to be on in order for this option to be doing anything. Let's see. All right, enable this, and I'll set my profit targets pretty high because I actually don't want my target or stop to get hit for this demonstration. All right, we'll set this to true. Okay.
Order pending.
And let me get rid of some of these bloodhounds on here. Alright, so I removed all the bloodhounds, and all I have on my chart is just Raven. Right, so this is Raven on the chart now. And I need to change my chart to let's see. I think range bars are nice and easy to manipulate. Alright, so for oil, a 5 tick is good. I only need one day of data. Alright, I'll click OK.
Order canceled.
Alright, let's see. I want to make sure.
Order filled.
Alright, I want to make sure I'm flat there first. And I need to turn the strategy back on. And this is odd. Have you guys noticed this lately? It seems like NinjaTrader loses its data on the chart quite often. I'm experiencing this problem quite a bit where the data just seems to disappear on the chart. It's really weird. Alright, let's reload historical data, see if that fixes it. and it didn't fix it. All right, just a moment, guys, while Hey, here's a little shortcut I'll show you guys. Let's say you have an old contract, right? An outdated contract on here, and you want to get the new contract quickly. So with this old contract, essentially, right, just to select it, and you remove it with this button, and then if you click the next button up on top, it'll populate the current contract month on there for you. And I didn't even have to go in here and select, I didn't have to go and select the instrument in here. So nice little shortcut there. All right, so let's remove the ES, and boom, click the populate button, and the new contract for the ES showed up there. And let's see what else we got. 6E, yeah, those are old contracts. That's an old contract, and just add the new contract on there, and there we go. Nice and easy. Let's see. I actually don't want to remove those continuous contracts, so just a moment. All right. Okay, so maybe that actual contract month will populate. Well, yeah, well, I see some of you guys are saying, yeah, you just gotta close the chart and start over. I hope they get this issue fixed. It does become kind of annoying after a while. All right, arrange 5-range bar, good deal. I just want 1 day of data. Okay, let's click OK. And all right, come on, load data. All right. Let's shut down Ninja. Start this over. Yeah, Roland's saying he has to restart Ninja when that happens. Usually I don't have to restart Ninja. Usually I can just open a new chart. Sometimes if I remove indicators off the chart, that'll fix it for some weird reason. So yeah, it looks like this is affecting a lot of people. Alright, well, good. I'm glad it's not just me. But I kind of figured it wasn't me because I have multiple VMwares and I've experienced the same issue, and all of my VMwares. So, yeah. All right. Hey, we got some data. All right, good deal. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to my simulated data feed, so that way I can force some trades to happen here, and I can demonstrate those new Raven properties. Okay, shrink this up a little bit. And so sometimes Raven will unassociate your strategy with the chart. So let's, or NinjaTrader's still thinking. Okay, I guess let's be patient here. All right. Just going to remove this, and add it back on here manually. Alright, let me see, while I'm working on this, Brent, to answer your question, the reason why you're getting that message warning you do not have a BloodHound template created or selected is because, Brent, you have to load, you have to tell Raven which BloodHound file that you want to trade. So you have to load a BloodHound template in here. So this is the very first thing you need to do when you pull Raven up is essentially start from the top of the list and just work your way down, all the way down until you get to the enable parameter, right? So let me go load up this little test template I have built here, and so here's a little fun tip. When you're loading your template, if you select the logic template that you want to trade, right? So I'm going in here and I want to trade this price inflection thing. If I select this, before clicking OK, what will happen is that logic template will be loaded on the chart automatically for you. So I'm just going to leave this to none, and let's see. Okay, so we're demonstrating this feature here. So I'm going to turn this on and put some pretty big stops and targets in there. And alright, turn this on. Alright, we can see all the historical trades there. And let's see. Yeah, so depending, you'll notice that here I'm already in a short position. Right, so this short position that I'm in, I'm going to disable this. This is affected or controlled by a NinjaTrader option. So I'm getting a little off topic here, but I'm sure most of you guys are going, hey, how come I'm already in a short trade? So if you go to Tools, go into Options, so go into Strategies tab, and let's see, go to NinjaScript, and let's see, wait until flat before executing live. Let's see. Yeah. So, all right. So this is, yeah. Really, this is NinjaTrader is tracking the last historical trade on there for you, in case you have this set. So, yeah, this is kind of weird. We wish we could find ways around this, but so this setting here, if you want Raven or any strategy to automatically execute a trade based on the most recent historical trade, right? So hopefully you guys can see my cursor here. We can see that this was the right. So this short signal was a historical trade. Right, because I think it was probably this bar here was the bar that was actually trading live. So that would make this short signal here, this previous one, a historical trade. And you can actually, if you set this immediately submit live working historical orders, NinjaTrader will look at your last historical trade and automatically execute an order for you for your strategy. So, and the way it's able to do that is it's actually tracking this historical trade, and we can see that that historical trade is actually showing up in the display here. So normally I'd say it's probably safer to have wait until before executing live selected. That way your strategy, in this case Raven, is not getting into the trade late. So another couple of settings here. So let's see, order handling. So when you disable Raven, I would think that it would be a good idea to cancel any entry orders when the strategy is disabled. I wouldn't, if I'm going to turn off Raven, I personally would not want any entry orders left open in there, so I'd want those canceled. But I would not want to cancel my exit orders. So if Raven is already in a trade and you have, so you're already in a live trade and you have a profit target and a stop loss order sitting out there to get you out of the trade, if you have this checked, NinjaTrader is going to cancel your profit and stop loss, basically leaving you in an open position, totally exposed with no stop. So I would suggest removing this. I would not personally, I would not want to cancel my exit orders if I turned off Raven. I would want to leave them out there, so that way my exposure is limited based on my stop. So this is typically, this is how I would prefer to have my strategies set up, like this. So, all right, so let's see. Yeah, so you notice I hit closed. I hit the close button, and look, this warning message came up, and it said, "Hey, you're in a simulated trade." So you really can't. There's nothing to cancel. If I look at positions, I can see that there's actually no position on here, right? So, all right. So, anyways, let's get
order pending
into a trade, and there we go. All right, we're in a trade. Now I'm actually going to let's adjust my trend. So I'm going to move the market up. And I'm actually going to close out of this trade. So I'm flat right now, right? And let's wait for this bar to go by. So let's say I enabled a Raven a little late, and so I'm like, hey, okay, I'm just going to manually enter the trade myself. So I clicked the go long button. So I placed a manual order, right, by using the chart trader buttons. Now, so let me bring up the strategy. So now remember, I took this parameter and I turned it on. So this is what I'm going to demonstrate for you, is the auto trades override manual trades, right? So I just placed a manual trade by using the button there. And so if we set this to true, what that does is it allows Raven's logic to override this manual trade. So in the previous version, if you used these manual buttons, Raven's logic was disabled. But now you have the option to enable Raven's automatic logic there. Let's close that. So what I'm going to do, let's see, we'll let price go up here one more. We'll generate one more bar here, and then I'm going to reverse price. Alright, so let's reverse price. So we're in this manual long trade that I made. Now if price reverses, Raven's logic is going to generate a short signal. And you can see that now Raven automatically reversed my position. So Raven's logic took over and reversed my position. So let's close that out. And I'm going to edit the strategy. So I'm going to take this setting, I'm going to turn it off. So now it's off. And let's turn the strategy back on. And so and right, I need to get Raven to close out this position, so let me just reverse price on here. Yeah, this is really kind of a bummer that NinjaTrader does this. So we're still looking to see if there's a way that we can overcome that. And all right, so we'll go look.
Order pending.
And oops, okay.
Order
So I'm going to close
filled.
this out, and once again, I'm going to manually enter a long trade.
Order pending.
Right, I use the button to manually enter a long trade, and we'll generate a couple of up bars again. Come on, one more here, and I'll reverse it. Okay, it's reverse price. So just to restate, I'm in a manual trade, right? I use the go long button to enter a manual trade. Now look, right here, we can see, Raven, Raven has a short signal, but it didn't reverse me, right? So Raven cannot override my manual trades, right? So in the previous version, this was the default operation, was that manual trades could not be overridden, but now you can. So that's what that feature does. All right, let's see.
Order filled.
All right, let's see if I'll demonstrate some more features here. All right, so let's see if I can demonstrate this re-entry feature here. So I'll set that to true. And in order for that feature to really do anything, I had to set calculate on bar close, set that to false. And let's see, I'm going to have to okay. Alright, I think this will work. And let's see, I need to change this. I'm going to change this to a minute bar. And I'm going to add the bar timer here. It's kind of nice to know when the bar is going to close. Alright, so there's our bar timer. And alright, turn Raven on. Alright, you can see Raven's evaluating all those historical trades. Alright, trading price reversal definitely executes a lot of trades. I should minimize the number of days on this chart. We'll have to give this a moment. So it's evaluating 5 days of data. That's quite a bit. Oh, sorry about that, guys. 31 days of data. Wow. All right, let's just knock this down to a day here. Man. And oh, just a second, guys. I need to set this to false. All right, turn that back on. Oh, that's weird. All right, set that to 5. Set that to 5, and let's see. Allow reentries on. Okay, set this to true. It's strange. All my settings got reset on me, and here, let's turn back test mode off. That way, Raven will load quicker if we turn the back test mode off. And okay, there we go.
Order pending. Order filled.
All right, let me reverse this, and we should get a
order pending.
Okay, good deal. Okay, so you can see we got an order in here, right? So we're evaluating.
Order pending.
And you see how it's entering multiple trades in here? This is what I wanted to demonstrate to you. So this is allow. This is that setting. You know, allow multiple trades on the same bar. And the price keeps going up and hits my target. You see, and the reason why is because we still have a long signal, right? We still have a long signal as, you know, as price keeps moving up and keeps hitting our profit target. You know, Ravens is going to keep executing a trade
order pending.
As long as we have a long signal here. All right, so we're still on the same bar. And let's see, we have about 19 minutes left. 19 seconds, I'm sorry. 14 seconds left. And there we go. Finally, a new bar generated here. And so we don't have a signal now on this new bar. So if we want to prevent, you know, multiple trades happening on the same bar, we'll just go into our settings, right? Turn Raven off, and this, you know, this defaults. The default setting is false on this. So, all right. And remember, it's calculate on bar close equals false is what causes this. So we'll turn the strategy back on. And let's force price down. We got 40 seconds left. All right, come on, price. Come on down.
Order pending.
All right. So an order was fired off as soon as we got that short signal on a live bar, and price will come down and hit us.
Order filled.
And now we can see it's not going to submit any more entries on the same bar as it did before. So, all right. Let's see. All right, so I showed you guys the chart trader option to turn the chart trader on and off. I just demonstrated the allow re-entries on same bar, and just prior to that I showed you the auto trades override manual trades. Yeah, let's see. You know, there's been a lot of some other minor enhancements and a lot of improvements and fixes and things like that. Probably one of the bigger things, you know, that some of you may notice is that BloodHound loads a lot faster now. You know, you're really only going to notice that if you have really big logic templates. So John Novak over at NextGen, he built some really large BloodHound templates, you know, with like 50 solvers or more on there, and you know, and a lot of function nodes and logic nodes. You know, I mean, I think just solvers alone, he probably had 50 solvers, and then probably, you know, like another 50 to 30 function nodes and logic nodes. You know, that's nearly 100 nodes on there. And a lot of his charts would have 30 days or 45 days of data, Renko data. So that's, you know, thousands and thousands of bars, like tens of thousands of bars. So his charts would quite literally, you know, take like 15 minutes to load, and after these improvements that we did, his charts were cut down to about 5 minutes of load time, you know, 5 to 10 minutes of load time. You know, on some of the older versions, John's templates literally took 45 minutes to load. He had so much on there, and we cut that load time, you know, down to, you know, like 10 minutes. So let's see. All right. Yeah, I don't think any of this other stuff really affects your day-to-day use. Yeah, I guess we can take note. Raven's display, we've kind of improved the bid and ask panel here. So yeah, here we improved this now. This used to be kind of problematic on instruments like the 6J. Let's see if I could switch this over to the 6J. And I don't have the 6J. Let's throw that on there real quick. Alright, 6J. You know, if anybody likes trading the Japanese yen, you know, the isn't that great? Sweet. Let's see if I can Alright, let me restart Ninja here. Alright, so I'm just trying to demonstrate the Raven's new bid and ask display window. There were some, you know, some weird display types going on with the 6J, and I'm sure with other instruments as well this was happening, and now that has all been resolved. All right, so here now we got some data coming in here, so we can see that the bid and the ask. The 6J has a very long set of digits here, and that used to kind of wrap around, and it was really kind of weird, and so that's been resolved now. All right, well, let's see with that. I see there's a lot of questions came in here, so all right, let me get through these questions. All right, so Roland has a good question. A good question about backtesting your ATM strategies in NinjaTrader. So, most NinjaTrader users don't understand that NinjaTrader cannot backtest their own ATM strategies. So let me see. Let me bring up. Let me bring up Raven's documentation page here. And oh no, let's see what happened here. Let's see. All right, let me get to there manually. Go to support, learn BloodHound, and go to the documentation. Where'd it go? There we go. I'll have to see what's up with that link. All right, so I'm on the kind of the first documentation page, and if I scroll down to the bottom here, I'm going to click on Raven. Raven's down at the bottom. And all right, so I'm going to go
order pending.
Next. I'm going to, in the contents here, I'm going to scroll down to the manage trades. All right, and you'll see if I click on the ATM tab here, this kind of explains how to use the ATM strategies in Raven. So you see there's some special notes here. All right, so let's see. So for back testing, basically for back testing in ATM, there's a link to NinjaTrader's ATM using an ATM strategy, and essentially I'll save you guys the time, but essentially what that says is that NinjaTrader is not capable of back testing their ATMs. So there is a workaround solution, and that is let me disconnect here. Yes, and all right. Just want to make sure I'm flat. Yeah, it looks like I'm flat. Okay. So the only way that you can backtest your ATMs is to use the market replay connection. All right. So you'll have to if you don't know how to use the market replay connection, just look through NinjaTrader's help documentation, and that can explain how to use that. And they might even have some training videos on using this as well. So. All right, so that's the only way that you can backtest an ATM strategy. All right. Let's see. Next question. Let's see. Peter's asking, is the chart trader extendable, for example, to all the different limit orders? No, it's not, Peter. The chart trader simply is what it is. So I guess just so you guys know, Raven came free with BloodHound. It's just a complementary strategy, that's kind of needed to, fulfill, BloodHound's usefulness. After BloodHound version 2 comes out, we've been wanting to create a replacement for Raven that'll have far more functionality in it. So since Jeremy started working on BloodHound version 2, we need to wait for that to come out first because the code for Raven has to be completely rewritten to be compatible with BloodHound version 2. So once BloodHound version 2 comes out, then we'll work on this extension product for Raven that'll have more functionality. All right, let's see. Sandy's asking. Oh, okay. Sandy's just got a comment about, yeah, I guess the chart data not loading on the charts. Yeah. All right. Let's see, Brent. I'm not sure what your comments are here. You're saying enabled. What am I enabling? I'm not sure what your comment is referring to, unless the only thing I can think of that needs enabling is a strategy. So we'll pull that back up here. So if we go into strategies, right, I can see I already have a strategy on the chart, and of course you just have to remember to enable it. So, or something else you can do is you can enable it this way as well. I just want to make sure there's not a ton of data on my chart again before I enable this strategy. Alright, so also sometimes you can just enable your strategy that way as well. It's kind of a nice, quick, easy way to turn them on and off. So Brent, I guess that's what you were asking about. Okay. Yes. Alright, good deal. Thanks, Brent. Alright, yeah, Leo's got a good question here that comes up from time to time for new users. So Leo's new to BloodHound, so hey, welcome. I'm glad you found these Friday workshop training workshops here. So Leo, what you can do is just send us an email and ask for that template, and we'll email it back to you. Alright, so Leo is just asking for, let's see, do I have a chart? Yeah. So I have BloodHound open here, right? I just opened it from this other chart, and Leo's just asking for this crossover test thing that I created here. It's just got a bunch of simple stuff in it, just so I can, just for testing Raven, and it's just a bunch of simple signals for testing Raven and testing BloodHound and testing solvers and stuff like that. It's really nothing special. I just throw stuff in it whenever I'm testing something. So, but yeah, you're welcome to have any of these template files here. And let's see. Also, I imagine there's a number of new people in here, so let me show you another location where you can find more BloodHound files. So I'm going to scroll up to the top. Alright, so if we go to the menu here, and we're going to go to Learn BloodHound, and if I scroll down, and where'd it go? Oh, there we go, got moved up here. Right, so you can see this section here is called template files. So if I click on that, it's it's going to take you to this support download section. And so essentially this is kind of the central depository of stuff. So you can see there's a bunch of BloodHound templates in here. And there's chart templates that go with the BloodHound templates, right? So if you download this BloodHound template, put it in the right location, and then if you download this chart template, put it in the right location, then if you load this chart template, you know, loading a chart template is when you right click and go to templates and you load. Alright, so these are all chart templates. So when you have the corresponding chart template and BloodHound template, all you have to do is load the chart template, and it'll load up all the indicators that are used in the BloodHound template, and it'll also load up BloodHound and load the template up for you. So there's let's see, yeah, there's just one market analyzer template. So I did a workshop video on the market analyzer a while back. So we have one of those, and yeah, so there you go. Let's see. Oh yeah, also, let's see. We can see that let's see. This is a older. Sorry, these are older installers on here. These are older versions, so you don't want these installers. Let's see. Those actually should not be showing up. I'll take care of that later on and take those off of there so they don't show up. Let's see. Yeah, if we go, let's see, if we go to the home page. So another thing, if you just want to, if you ever need to re-download BloodHound, you can just go to support, and you'll see right here this says download installer, right? So, and that'll just take you to the page. Just takes you to another location where if you scroll down to install BloodHound, you can see here's the button, and that'll download right the latest version of BloodHound for you. So, alright. Actually, you know what? Here's something new for you guys. So let me go back to the template file section, right? So I'm going to go back to the template files here. And let's see, let's go into BloodHound templates. And I'm not sure how these are organized. They might, I suspect they're organized by date. And yeah, it kind of looks like they're organized by date. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it looks like here we go. I think it's in sample signals. Well, shoot, sorry. I'm not seeing it on here. Anyways, we have for owners of BloodHound. Oh, that's actually, yeah, sorry about that. That's why it's not on here. So this is a public page that's a public page that everybody can see. So we have a sample or a starter kit, I should say, a starter kit for owners of BloodHound. So you have to be a BloodHound owner, and since you're in this room, that means you're a BloodHound owner. And let's see, let me see if I actually have it in here. Let's see. No, I don't have it in here. Alright, well, I guess I will explain it to you guys. So we had Daniel Rowe. Some of you guys may know that Daniel Rowe is a third-party consultant for BloodHound that you can hire to build your systems. So let me go to his website here. So tradetheplan.com is Daniel's website. And so he's really kind of the only sanctioned kind of third-party system developer for BloodHound. And so he put together a starter kit for us, and it's available to all owners of BloodHound. So if you would like that starter kit, and it comes with 5 different kind of trading styles, so it comes with 5 different logic templates in one BloodHound file. And so if you would like to get a hold of that, just send us an email and ask for that starter kit, and we'll email it off to you. So once again, just send us an email here to our support@sharkindicators.com and just ask us for that starter kit template file, and we'll send that off to you. And I know, let's see, I think somewhere on Daniel's site he has, let's see, he has a help documentation on that. Maybe it's under free downloads. Let's see. So here's, yeah, so here's some systems that Daniel put together. I don't see that starter kit on here, so it's possible Daniel doesn't have it. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's on his site or not, but you know, there are some systems up here. It looks like you can download. So yeah, looks like you can download the BloodHound template here. So some other fun stuff that you can play around with. You know, see if you can help augment, you know, whatever kind of trading system you have right now. So all right. All right, Leo, I hope that answers your question and then some. Let's see. All right, Brent has got another question here. All right, so Brent is asking about backtest mode in Raven here, right? So that's a good question here. Let's just use this simple chart here. All right, so let's go back into the strategy window, and we can see I have Raven on here. Right, so we have this backtest mode that we can turn it on or turn it off. All right, so if it's off, you know, and we, oops, I didn't turn my strategy on. So we have backtest mode is off. Turn my strategy on. Right, we can see there's no historical trades show up. Right, so if I go into Raven, if I turn it off, disable it, I need to hit apply, and then I turn backtest mode on, and then turn my strategy back on. Click OK.
Order pending.
And let's just turn this off for now.
Order filled.
So now you can see all the historical trades here. So I really kind of need to, the text can get, well, this is kind of a bad system, so right, there's a lot of text here because there's a trade, you know, every other bar. So you can analyze all the historical backtesting results, but also more importantly is when backtest mode is turned on, you can generate, that's how you're able to generate a strategy performance. All right, so once again, this is a NinjaTrader function. So NinjaTrader's, you know, framework, its back-end framework calculates all of this strategy performance report. And you know, so I can click historical in real time, and you can see you have this performance report here that you can analyze how your system's doing, right? So that's how you backtest and analyze your system, is through NinjaTrader's performance report. So you can take a look at your equity curve here, And geez, I must say that looks awful good. A little too good here. You can analyze all the trades one at a time. Let's see, or the executions, separates them into trades. Yeah, essentially all, you can go through NinjaTrader's help documentation to figure out what all this stuff is. So, you can analyze your trades by day, day by day. I only have one day on the chart, so it's only going to show me one day. So that's what turning backtest mode on is. It allows you to generate this strategy report here. So let's see it. I'll turn Raven back off. I'll turn backtest mode off. All right, let's turn Raven back on. And now
order pending.
Now you can see the strategy performance is blank because Raven didn't perform any backtesting. So if you don't want to do any backtesting or anything, you can turn backtest mode off, and Raven will load faster, right? If Raven doesn't have to perform all those backtest trades, then Raven will load a little faster. It'll load a little faster. Obviously it depends on how many days of data you have on your chart as well. If you only got 5 days of data on your chart, then backtest mode is not going to make a difference in how fast Raven loads. But some indicators require like 30 and 45 days of data. So if you don't need this backtest data, turn it off and Raven will load up a lot faster. So, okay, let's see if there's another question here. Let's see. All right, yeah, Brent brings up a good point. Would you use backtest mode for market replay? And no, you don't, because market replay is like playing. Market replay is essentially running your strategy live, right? So if you connect to the market replay data, what that's doing is it's simulating running your strategy in a live environment. So you don't need backtest mode on. You can keep backtest mode off, although it's really not going to matter. So I think for the most part it's really not going to matter. So all right, looks like Roland loves one of those features, so good. All right, so Vladimir has asked, have I talked to NinjaCators? And yes, so we are in the process of partnering with NinjaCators. I'm helping them test a couple of their indicators with BloodHound to make them compatible. Admittedly, I have a feeling they're not going to convert all their indicators over for BloodHound. I believe they have dozens and dozens of indicators, so that's obviously a lot of work that they would have to go through. But I think they're going to check their indicators to make sure they're compatible with BloodHound, kind of one at a time and take it, time by time. But to launch our partnership, we have about something like half a dozen or 10 indicators that they're going to get ready initially, and these indicators are ones that they feel that their customers are going to benefit the most from using these indicators in BloodHound or in Raven. So Vladimir, if you're talking about any particular indicator, I guess I would send NinjaCators an email and ask them, hey, could you work on this indicator, make it compatible with BloodHound if it's not already? So, and I will help them work on that if they ask me to. All right, so Jim's asking an interesting question. Can you use Raven's entry and avoid Ninja's Superdome? Yeah, you can, Jim. However, you know, Raven's, you know, manual entry buttons here are pretty limited, right? So, the go long buttons, the go long and go short buttons, those are market orders. The buy ask and buy bid buttons, those are limit orders at the ask and at the bid, and that's it. That's all you have. So you can't like right click and place a trade. So the Super Dom has far more functionality and capability,
order pending,
you know, of placing your trades. So, you know, the chart trader is pretty limited, you know, for now at least. So, well, think of it as kind of like Ninja's. You know, we modeled it a little after NinjaTrader's chart trader. So let me bring up the other chart. So if I open up Ninja's chart trader here, right, you can see that essentially Ninja's chart trader kind of has the same buttons. So, you know, the chart trader is definitely, in my opinion, not really a good replacement for the Super Dom. All right, reading through some more questions here. So, oh, Sandy's asking a good question. Is Jeremy waiting on NT8 to build it? So I'm guessing you're asking about BloodHound version 2, and are we waiting for NinjaTrader 8 to come out before we launch BloodHound version 2? And the answer to that is absolutely not. So no, not at all. You know, just kind of a side note, Jeremy's plan for BloodHound version 2 is part of the reason why he's rewriting the whole code from scratch. So he's starting over from scratch and writing the code, so that way it will make it really simple for Jeremy to be able to port BloodHound over to other charting platforms, such as possibly TradeStation or what's the other one that seems to be pretty popular for guys? She was at MT4. Can't remember, but the bottom line is, yeah, essentially BloodHound is going to be pretty easy to port over to other charting platforms now. And so when NinjaTrader 8 comes out, whatever kind of changes they make to their Ninja script, you know, whatever kind of code things they break, it's going to be a lot easier for Jeremy to make those changes quicker, and make BloodHound compatible with whatever kind of changes come out. So, so we're not waiting for Ninja 8, not at all. All right, so Brent, I think I probably addressed the backtest mode question pretty well. So, you know, I guess just to reiterate, if you're trading live, you don't need to turn backtest mode on. You know, as the name implies, backtest mode is really just so you can do some backtesting of your BloodHound system and get those performance reports. All right, looks like Roland's got a question here. Will the re-entry feature in Raven work when calculate on bar close is set to true? No, it does not. And that's because that's just because of how the calculate on bar close operates. So I guess my suggestion is, if you don't know what calculate on bar close does, you should probably take a look at NinjaTrader's, you know, help documentation to explain what that does, because that makes a significant change to your indicators or your strategy, right? So let me open up my indicator window here, and let's see, let me just, I'll dump an EMA on the chart here. So on this EMA, right, you'll notice it has this calculate on bar close setting, right? This is a NinjaTrader setting. And of course, let's see, oh, that's actually from Raven. Well, I'll just add another indicator on here. You know, all indicators have this calculate on bar close functionality, have this setting. You know, the CCI, right? I think you guys get the point. So all indicators have that setting, and all strategies have that setting. All right, so if I look at Raven, you know, it has that setting as well. So this calculate on bar close dramatically changes the behavior of an indicator or a strategy. So if you don't know what that's doing, you really should go read NinjaTrader's help guide to understand how that affects your indicator or your strategy. So I really don't get into NinjaTrader training in these workshops. They're for BloodHound and for Raven only. You know, I do understand that I do need to explain some of NinjaTrader's functionality a little bit, you know, as it affects BloodHound or affects Raven. But the calculate on bar close, that really gets in deep into how that changes indicators and strategies. So I'm going to let you go through NinjaTrader's documentation on that one. All right. Yeah, John's got a good question here. Were the custom BloodHound strategy examples corrected with the new update? Not yet, John. So Jeremy is planning on updating those next week. So this week he's been carried away because we have a Trade Like a Pro event coming up with NinjaTrader, and so we had to fulfill their requirements by a deadline. I think we had a deadline this week, so Jeremy had to take care of that first, but Jeremy will update those pages and the example code next week. So let me show you what John is asking about. Alright, so let me go to the home page here, and I'm gonna go to support, learn BloodHound, and the documentation page. So once again, I'm on the documentation page, and if I scroll down to the bottom of this menu here on the right hand side, right, you'll see there are custom BloodHound strategies, and there's example strategies here. Right, so you can hook into BloodHound and write your own custom strategy if you want, if you know how to do this. Just to preface this, we do not support this section at all. All right, we do not support writing NinjaScript code. So we hand this example code out, and it is as is. There's absolutely no support on this. You know, helping traders learn how to program and stuff like that is just an open can of worms. So we really can't support it. You really need to know how to program yourself if you really want to get into doing this. But anyways, you know, there's example strategies on here that explain how to use BloodHound to write your own strategy, or you could write your own indicator based off of BloodHound signals. You know, so this is essentially with the update. This is out of date, and so I've asked Jeremy to try and update this as soon as he can get to it. So, all right. All right, so Ken has a good question. So I kind of showed this earlier on. Ken is asking, how do we know what version of BloodHound we're on? So essentially, you just have to open up the BloodHound interface. So I have Raven on the chart here, and so I can So I have this BloodHound button, and I can just open the interface. All right, so here's BloodHound, and just click Help and click About. And there you go. It tells you which version you're on. So I'm on version 1.210. There we go. Also on here on the help thing, there's a quick link to the documentation page as well, so you can just click on that and it'll open up your web browser, right, and take you to the documentation page, and you can scroll down here, and right under the BloodHound reference you'll see is the documentation for all the solvers and the logic nodes and function nodes. So, and up on the top of the list, right, are training videos and getting started guide. So, all right, so it looks like Van's got a question here. Is there any solver that can set the number of trades per SMA 15 crossing over the SMA 50? Is there a solver that can set the number of trades? Well, are you wanting, let's see, Van, if you're wanting to like limit the number of trades, something like that, oh, there we go. Let's see, such as 3 trades per SMA crossover. Yes, there is, Van. All right. Yes, there is. And so what you'd want to do, let's see, let me move this down, and actually, how about if I'm going to open up a clean chart here. Alright, I have a nice clean chart, and let's get rid of that. Alright, a blank slate here, and let's see, I'm going to give this a name here first, and let's see, well, gosh, I was going to go into more, try and give you an example, but I can see that we're already 2.5 hours into this session, so I want to try and wrap this up. So Van, let me have you send an email into our support, and what I'll do is I'll guide you to some workshop videos that have already covered that topic. So once again, Van, if you would just send an email into support, right, at sharkindicators.com, and ask us that same question, and we'll send you some example training videos. But just to not leave you hanging here, if I move over to the logic tab, all right, and of course I have to create a new logic template. Under the function nodes, what you're going to want to use is the signal counter. You can use this signal counter function node, and as the name implies, it will count the number of signals. So you can count up to, your example, you say three trades, so you can count up to 3 trades. You have to set up a look back period. So let's say say if you only want 3 trades per day, and of course it depends on what bar type you're trading, but say like if there's only I don't know, 1,000 bars per trading day, then you'd need to set this to like 1,000. And then there's other various reset things here that need to be set up, which unfortunately I don't have time to cover right now, but this at least kind of gets you started. And the training video will kind we'll cover using this signal counter more in depth than what I can do today for you. All right, so send that question in there for me, Van, and we'll get that answer for you. And okay, so Vladimir is saying he'd like to see the smart volume delta indicator. And let's see, you know what? I just so happen to have the list of Ninjacators indicators here. I left that open, so let's see. Smart. That one sounds familiar. Okay, yeah. So you know what? That is on the list for me to check with Ninjacators, but I have not looked at that one yet. That's one of the indicators we have not looked at yet. And actually, I did take a look at it, but I just don't know how to use that indicator. It looks like I made a comment to myself that I was a little confused at all the data that indicator is putting on the chart, and I'm not sure what I'm looking at. So I'm going to have to get together with one of the guys over at Ninjacators to help me understand that indicator better. But just so you know, Vladimir, looks like we are working on getting that compatible with BloodHound. So, all right. Let's see. Gunter is asking, what is the difference? What is the difference, I guess, between BloodHound and Raven? All right. Well, essentially, let's see. No, I'm not going to save this. All right. Well, essentially, BloodHound is just an indicator on your chart, and you know it will show you the trade signals on your chart. But as you know, an indicator cannot execute trades, right? Indicators do not execute trades, right? Only a strategy can execute a trade. So let's see, let's get rid of that. Where's my other chart? Here we go. So here's my 6J chart that has Raven on it, right? So indicators, your indicator class cannot execute trades. Only strategies can execute trades. So in order to get BloodHound to execute a trade, right, we had to create a strategy. Right, so we created this Raven strategy, and Raven hooks into BloodHound to get its trade signals. So that's the difference. Raven can execute trades, but BloodHound cannot. Let's see. Ken is asking, will the current NT, I guess the NinjaTrader, will the current NinjaTrader version be used on Windows 8 OS yet? You know, Ken, I don't think anybody's having trouble running NinjaTrader on Windows 8, as far as I know. But you know, if you're having issues, that's really kind of I'll defer that question to NinjaTrader. They're more the experts. I personally do not use Windows 8. I just don't like the interface, so I'm going to skip Windows 8 and go straight to Windows 10 when they launch it. So Windows announced Windows 10 this week. They gave a developer preview of it. It's not a working version, but just a preview version, and it's basically Windows 7 on steroids with some Windows 8 features. So it looks like it's a lot more easier to navigate. So just a little comment. All right, Leo. Okay, Leo's asking a good question here. BloodHound version 2, Ultimate owners will have to pay for this version. So, Leo, the way upgrades work is that you buy a 1-year maintenance subscription, and that gets you all the updates for a year, right? So as long as your maintenance extension is valid, then you can get the BloodHound version 2 update with that maintenance extension. So if your maintenance period has expired, then all you need to do is just renew it, and you can send us an email to our support email, asking us how do you renew, your maintenance subscription, and then you can upgrade to the latest version of BloodHound, whatever version it is. So you don't have to buy version 2 all over again. It's just included with a valid maintenance period. So if anybody has purchased the lifetime version of BloodHound, then of course that's all versions of BloodHound would be included with the lifetime version. So, all right, good. Sounds like that answered Leo's question. Okay, so John's got a question here, good question on Raven. So he's saying, okay, Raven can issue a limit order using calculate on, let's see, using the close of the last or current bar. So he's got calculate on bar close equaling true, and he wants Raven to issue a limit order on the close of the next bar instead of the close of the current bar. So John, in order to do that, you have to change your BloodHound logic. So you have to change your BloodHound logic to defer that signal forward one, and that's really simple to do. It's really simple to do. So let's see. Let me pull up this blank BloodHound here. So if you want to defer your signals, actually, hold on. No, let me show you here. So I'll show you inside of Raven, right? So let's
order
close that. All right, so we can see that these BloodHound signals here are whenever the bar reverses, right? Whenever price reverses direction, we get a signal here. So if I want to delay this signal one bar, basically push the signal forward one bar, really simple to do. So I'll go into BloodHound's logic, right? It's just this, right now I'm just using this simple inflection solver. What I can do is go to my function nodes, use the look back node here, and this look back, it defaults to a displacement of 1. So what you want to do is you want to displace your signal forward 1 bar. All right, so I can plug that in, and bingo, you see how the signals all got pushed forward 1 bar now? Right, so let me just I'll mark them here, right? So there's that one, there's that one, and there's that one. Now if I go back to my BloodHound logic and I connect that straight in, right, you see how the arrows don't match up, right? The signals are 1 bar earlier. So, all right, pretty simple to do there, John. Let's see, Gunter, I'm not sure I understand your question. Let's see, Gunter's asking, please open the logic for looking at what indicators you have. How must I find my indicators on the logic node? Let's see. So, Gunter, I'm assuming you're talking about inside of BloodHound here. So, all right. So, when you're working in BloodHound, you know, let's say you want to look. Say you want to look at the slope of a moving average, right? We want to make sure that the slope of a moving average is pointing up for a long trade, right? So I want to analyze the slope of a moving average. And I'll connect this in here, right? And open this up, right? So the slope solver has, you know, you have to pick an indicator to see what the slope of the indicator is. So, right, to open up the indicator list here, you can see when I click on this parameter, this indicator parameter here, this button comes up, and I can click the button, and that shows me all the indicators that I have installed on my system, right? So right now I can see I'm looking at the SMA 14 period slope. So I'm looking at the SMA 14 period slope. And if I wanted to, I could look at the HMA. All right, I could look at the whole moving average. And let's see, it defaults to a 21 period. I can click OK. And so now my slope solver is using the HMA with a 21 period. And I'm looking at the slope of that now. So that's how you take a look at what indicators you have that work with BloodHound. All right. All right. Looks like Ken has a question here. If using multiple time frames, does Raven only work on the chart you have it on, even if using multiple time frame charts? So the answer is no, right? No, Ken. Well, I guess there's a lot of variances on that question. So let me try and answer that a little more specifically. Let me just get this back to the way it was. All right, so I have Raven on this chart. So if Raven operates, on the chart that you put it on. So Raven is operating on the 6J5 range chart. So right now, Raven is only going to evaluate BloodHound signals based on the 5 range chart. But however, if your BloodHound logic has other time frames on it, if I put this indicator slope on the 1 minute chart, well, BloodHound's gonna here, let me name this first. So BloodHound would evaluate the slope solver on the 1 minute chart and then feed those trade signals to Raven that way. All right, so so if I put this crossover test 2 into BloodHound on this range chart, the signals that you see is exactly the signals that Raven would trade. All right, so so putting Raven on this chart, Raven is not going to evaluate the signals off of a 1 minute chart. But if your system uses a 1 minute chart, well, BloodHound takes that into consideration. I'm hope I'm making sense there for you, Ken. This kind of gets into a lot of different possibilities. It's a little difficult to try and explain everyone and cover everyone, but all right, looks like Van's got a question here. From now on, do I need to go to Daniel for customer built templates or pay $60 an hour to BloodHound for personal support? All right, so Van, I guess to cover what Daniel does. So if you want somebody to just build your system for you, right? So you don't have to do it yourself. You don't want to bother learning. You just say, hey, just build my system so I can get up and trading it, without having to learn anything. That's what Daniel will do for you. Right? He's the person you can go to pay to have someone do the work for you. Now, as for Shark Indicator support, we're here. Our support system is here to help you learn how to use BloodHound so you can build your system. Right? We will not build your system for you. Right? That would be an unlimited support task. Every trader's got 1,000 ideas times 1,000 customers. That's an endless task. and traders never stop coming up with new ideas. So therefore we have to, we stop our support at building systems for you. But we are here to help you. We will guide you as to what solvers to use, for your different trading conditions. So if you say, hey, this is the condition I'm trying to build, it's a part of my system, what solver do I use? We will explain that, which solver to use. If it gets complicated, we'll, kind of explain it, like if you're brand new to BloodHound, we'll explain, how to set the solver up. But most of the time we're going to guide you to the documentation, so you can read the documentation and understand how the solver works. Really our goal is to help you learn BloodHound, as quickly as we can, so that way you no longer need our support. You can just take your ideas, how to use BloodHound, and you can just whip it up and start backtesting your brand new idea. So some trading methodologies can get pretty complex with looking at price action and stuff. So we understand you'll probably always want to come back and get some guidance from us, and that's what we're here for. We do have a one-on-one personal consultation for $60 an hour. Once again, that is not so you can hire us to just build your system. So if you do take advantage of that, that will be with me, but I'm going to teach you how all the solvers are working, how all that's doing. So it's going to take much longer and we will build any kind of trading system that you want. So if you have an idea that that you want to use as an example, then that's what we'll do. So we'll build your trading idea together, but it's going to be a longer process because I'm going to take the time to teach you what all the solvers are doing. How how did I create all of your different trading conditions into all of the solvers and the function nodes, and and walk you through that process, so that way you fully understand how the BloodHound logic works. Right, so that's what you get when you hire us to do some consulting time. If you hire Daniel, you don't have to sit around and watch Daniel. You can just hire Daniel, have him build it, for you on his own time real quick, and he won't bother explaining anything if that's what you want. If you just want to get it done super fast, go to Daniel, he'll whip it out for you, he'll get you an estimate and just build it and you're done. If you want to learn along the way while building your system, well, you can hire us to do that, and of course you can hire Daniel to do that as well. So another difference is Daniel is willing to give kind of advice, trading advice, whereas at Shark Indicators, we're not licensed, and so therefore we stay away from giving any kind of trading advice, any kind of suggestions and things like that. Right, but Daniel is more than happy to help give you guys advice based on his trading experience. So that's another advantage of going to Daniel for that. Let's see, so Kim is asking, would Ninjacator's Bollinger MACD break be on that list? Okay, yeah, so Kim has a question about Ninjacators. Let me take a look. It's the Bollinger MACD break. That doesn't sound familiar. Oh, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, okay. Actually, it was just recently added. So I shared this list with the folks. It's a Google Doc list. I shared it with the folks over at Ninjacators, and yeah, I can see they just actually added it to the list there, Kim. So yeah, it looks like we will be, or Ninjacators will be getting that indicator working with BloodHound. So I guess as soon as we can. There's definitely no ETA on that. So All right, Gunter's got a good question here. Is there a recording of the solvers? And yes, absolutely. That's a part of the training tutorial videos, and it's also on each of the documentation pages. So here, let me scroll up to the top of this page, right? So we're on the support and resistance solver documentation page here. And if we look on contents, we'll see that there's a video tutorial. So I can scroll down, keep scrolling down. It's quite a ways down, and you'll see that there's a video right there on this page, right? And you can just start playing it, and it will. And I can see right here, it started at the 16-minute mark. So this video already jumped ahead of the beginning of the video and started you right where I start talking about this, the support resistance solver. You know, if I so all of these solvers all have videos attached to the documentation page. So if I take a look at the slope, let's take a look at the indicator slope solver, right? Indicator slope solver. And so right here, video tutorials. If I click on that, it takes me down here, and I can start watching the video from there. And I can see it started me at the 33-minute mark there. So, or another place where you can watch all of these videos at once is if we go into the BloodHound guide. You know, we thought we'd be kind of cheeky with our naming here, you know, and so we named this section the Getting Down and Dirty, but you know, if I click on this Getting Down and Dirty section, you know, I guess I probably should rename that so it's a little more understandable. But you know, so here's some in-depth videos, and so you can see this first video here covers the bar direction, the bar length, and the indicator change in slope solver. So you can see there's a video here. You know, and most of these videos cover about 3 solvers per video. And so you can just go through all of these videos real, you know, a lot quicker if you want. You know, if you just want to watch all of them in a row, you know, but if you just want to go to the individual solver, then you can, right, then under BloodHound reference, you can see the individual solvers, and you can just watch the video for the individual solver. So, all right, so Gunther, I hope that helps you out there. You know, so also Gunther, yeah, let's see, there's some more videos here to kind of go through. So under BloodHound Guide, there's the Be a Master section, and this kind of ties everything together. You know, like this will tie stuff together. There's multiple time frames, you know, an understanding of how BloodHound works. Actually, that's just going to take you back to the documentation. Let me go back to Getting Down and Dirty here. And if I keep scrolling down, oh yeah, here we go. So here's a video that builds a system and kind of ties everything together. So it takes you from the beginning of building a system, and then actually implementing the system into Raven and actually trading it. And then here's some more videos on Raven itself. So. Let's see. All right, Sandy is asking, is NOFT on that list? I'm not sure what that acronym stands for, but let's see. No, it doesn't, Sandy. NOFT does not appear to be on Ninjacator's list. Can you write out the full name of that indicator for me, please? Ninja Order Flow Trader. Order Flow Trader. Let's see. I have a Order Flow Pattern Spotter. That was just recently added to the list. So I'm not sure if that's the same. Yeah, although I'm kind of thinking Ninja Order Flow Trader. I don't know. To me, that kind of sounds like a strategy, you know. And of course, strategies can't be used inside of BloodHound. Only indicators can be used inside of indicators. So, yeah. Oh, it's a set of indicators. Oh, all right. Yeah. So I would need the individual names of that set. So I don't know what the sets are called. I just know what the individual indicators are called. So it looks like we have one of them, right? The Order Flow Pattern Spotter indicator is on there. And it looks like I have a note from the folks at Ninjacator that this is a real-time indicator. There's no historical plots. Yeah, so you know what? That's a good point. One thing I've noticed about Ninjacator is that most of their indicators only work in real time, so you won't be able to backtest. You really won't be able to backtest stuff with Ninjacator indicators easily. You can, you know, to backtest. It sounds like the only way you can backtest most of Ninjacator's indicators, or at least a majority of them. I think the only way you'll be able to backtest them is to connect to the market replay connection. You'll have to use this in order to backtest your stuff built with Ninjacators. So, all right, well, guys, wow, this is a 3-hour session. So I guess I'm not surprised with all the BloodHound update and all the good questions that I had today. So with that, folks, I will wrap it up, let you go, and have a great weekend. All right, guys, thank you very much. And as always, if you would like to see something demonstrated in these Friday workshops, you know, I always take questions, and you know, you can send in an email and, you know, ask me to demonstrate how to build something. The one thing that's necessary is provide very detailed information, right? Screenshots are very helpful in explaining your idea, right? If you ask me to do something and you ask it very generically, I won't know how to do it, and therefore I won't be able to. So I need very specific, detailed information in order to build something. All right, guys, I'll leave it at that, and have a great weekend. We'll see you next Friday. Bye-bye.